Hello, weary traveler. I'm not sure what strange magic must have brought you here, but you have stepped into a realm of my creation. A sprawling city filled with danger and glory, and most importantly, lots of gold. I call it Isla Numus. Who am I, you might ask? The name is Jajim, and I'm the patron deity of gambling. Long story short, this group of idiots, or as you may call them, heroes, made a bet with me that they had what it took to make a vast trove of gold, but left some of the key details blank, so I filled them in myself. I sent them to this pocket dimension, into the city I had created with brand new bodies they'd have to attune to. Can these fools pass my test, or will they be trapped here forever? So, experience my world of trials and tribulations, and join alongside this posse of pitiful people, or as I like to call them, the Criminals of Isla Numus.
Alright, welcome back to another episode of Criminals of Isla Numus. I am your host, / Dungeon Master, Skylar. And I've been asked to do recap first, then characters, I think. Okay, so no? I'm getting head shakes? Okay, sorry. Alright, we'll do characters, then recap. Alright, so to my right, we've got Dave.
Dave here playing Maki, the Shadow Sorcerer bounty hunter. In his past life. Nice. I don't think he knows that yet.
Now, is it Maki? Is that a fish? Or no, that's Maki. That's fine. There's no need to be a fish here.
Maki is actually based off of a character from Bleach.
Nice. My wife would get that. I do not.
I've never seen it either.
Theme song.
Very minor character.
Maki also was from our last campaign prior to this, where all our characters come from. He was an NPC while Dave was DMing, and he just joined our group.
Yeah.
And then slowly just became a core member to the point where he became a playable character for Dave when Skylar took back over as DM.
That's right. It all worked out in a fantastic way.
So anyway, Maki was a human. Now he's a Kenku sorcerer. He's stretching his legs, enjoying life as a birdman.
Getting a feel for the magic hidden within him. Hot.
Indeed.
Fantastic. Next to Dave, we've got Quinn, who's playing Feather McGregor.
Yeah, a.k.a. Lil Sauce.
That's right.
Kenku Wizard. Going through a lot of changes in life right now. And I think right now we're after work, I believe, right now.
Sure.
Searching after my son or cousin or uncle. I can't remember what I was doing, but
I think you said he was your cousin.
Might have been.
Yeah.
But we got to find Silly Frilly Willy.
That's
my main goal.
Silly Frilly Willy.
That's my main goal.
That's right. Awesome. Next to Quinn, we got Jackson.
My name is Jack. I play Dez, who was a Trident fighter turned Kenku Ranger. Fun fact about Dez is, although he comes from an underwater world, he prefers dry rubs over a marinade.
It is dry season.
It is dry rub season, that's right. Now, has he ever seen the movie Waterworld with Kevin Costner?
He saw it once when he was real young.
Yeah.
And he remembers that it was like the normal world, but submerged all in water. And he was like, what's so wrong and scary about this?
Sure.
Why are they punishing the man with gills? Why is gills a secret?
Yeah, that's a fair
just
point. It's a very offensive movie when you think about it from that angle.
Yeah.
That's fair.
It was like poking fun at his race.
Waterworld exists.
There's a play within this Dungeons and Dragons homebrew world, and it's called Waterworld.
They lifted up his shirt and they're like, he's a trident. And it was very offensive.
Yeah, it was very offensive. Awesome. Next to Jackson, we've got Fatty Lumpkins.
All right, Fatty here. He plays Keto, the druid elf who turned into a Echo Knight Kobold.
Which is a hilarious mixture.
Mm-hmm.
You know what's scarier than one kobold? 2 kobolds.
Yes. It's like a lizard infestation.
I thought you were gonna say, you know
What
what's
about-
scarier
it's
than
like
one
the US
kobold?
Congress.
What about 4
Not
kobolds?
Can someone say pack tactics?
I thought you were gonna say, you know what's
Do
scarier
you
than
get
one
pack
kobold?
tactics to yourself?
Everything.
He gave them to me.
No, I mean,
No, I don't think.
if you have Echo Knight, do you give pack tactics to yourself?
But I think
You technically get 1 attack each. So, like, if you spawn, I think your Echo Knight could potentially, like, do, what's it called?
Unleash incarnation.
When you have 1 force, you could flank an enemy
Oh,
with yourself.
right.
Because you can take an action to put your Echo Knight behind them, and then you can use his bonus action to use the Echo Knight to attack said enemy. So you can flank an enemy.
Bonkers.
So
Well, we'll figure
we
that out,
decided
yeah.
To flush out all these Echo Knights
Yeah. Attributes. and
attributes
Capabilities.
and probably be corrected on the rules in the comments.
That's true.
Who cares?
We'll figure it out. And we'll have some fun along the way. Fantastic. And finally, last but not least, we got Cameron.
Hi, I'm Cameron.
Hi, Cameron.
Tell me about yourself.
I play Rorick Frostbeard. He was a barbarian dwarf. Now he's turned into a little goblin, a little arcane trickster goblin. But now he's turned into a little boy named Silly Frilly Willy,
Full name.
who just got kidnapped.
First, middle, and last.
Yeah, full title.
Silly, really, really.
And he just got child napped.
Child napped.
Yeah, it's a
Kidnapped.
scary thing.
Kidnapped.
For any kid.
Well, kidnapped applies to both adults and kids, but child napped applies strictly to children.
Well, I said I was going to do the little...
Imagine getting kidnapped
what
when
happened-
you're an adult, and they're like, haha, you got kidnapped. That's what I think kids are supposed to do.
You're not an adult anymore. You got kidnapped.
What an Uno reverse card.
Big
for sure.
baby.
Yeah. Well, I said I was going to give the recap after the character introductions, and then you got all these characters that are trying to add the recap into their introductions. But whatever the case, let's jump into the episode, and I'll do the recap here after the little transition. All right, so last time, you guys were helping out Gideon to find the alleged reincarnation of his son, McGregor.
No,
who-
McGregor.
Oh, sorry. I'm not McGregor.
McGregor is
sorry.
my last
Let me
name.
restart there. You were working with Gideon McGriddle. Not really with him, I guess. You were helping him out to find what he assumed was his reincarnated son. Simply goes by McGriddle. That Feather McGregor had at one point been best friends and work partners with, and allegedly killed in the line of duty. But like he did it. Allegedly, in the line of duty. Anyways, you guys are helping Gideon McGriddle to find this alleged reincarnation that he had put into a puppet, having done some sort of strange ritual, believing that he had brought his son's soul back and into said puppet. The puppet has since escaped and has been allegedly kidnapping children in the area. You guys had gotten some clues from around the town square, and you had dressed Rorick up as a little child named Silly Frilly Willy, who went skipping off into a dark alleyway, and came across a strange figure who kind of coaxed him to the clock tower. The rest of you are unaware of where he is, but you guys are quickly following the tracks alongside a couple of town guards in search of the fake child that you have used as your bait. And that's where we set ourselves at right now. You guys are running down, or maybe not running, but walking down this alleyway, following the tracks. Dez is sniffing along the ground. And what you find is you see the series of tracks that were left behind by, very obviously, by a small goblin creature.
Small boy.
A small boy goblin creature. And every once in a while, like around a corner, you will see a strange pair of footprints. They look like just a generic pair of shoes. But Dez, given that your favorite enemy is constructs, you recognize these.
I get a little twitch in the eyebrow.
You do get a little twitch in the eyebrow, and you recognize these as possibly resembling the same shoes design that Gideon McGriddle, there we go. McGiggle. Gideon McGriddle has used on his other dolls and creations that his puppets, etc. Having been in his shop, having kind of an eye for such things, you recognize these. And then they seemingly just disappear. And then a little ways further in, as you're following your friend's footsteps, you find him again. Mm-hmm. Just in one spot. It's just one pair of footprints, and then they disappear. And you follow that for a little while until eventually you find the entrance to the clock tower. It's in a kind of a more rundown space here. It doesn't look like anyone, uses this area too often. It doesn't have any shops. It's solely kind of the more rundown houses, residence area. So aside from the people that must live around this area, there's not too many people in the area. Mm-hmm. And that's where you guys find yourselves. The tracks of your friend Rorick, aka Silly Frilly Willy, seem to disappear at the steps leading up to the door of the clock tower.
Dez goes ahead, and pulls out his morning star and walks through the door to the clock tower.
Just straight in.
I'm ascending.
All right, he's ascending.
Oh, geez, your friend's real eager there. Sure looks like your what'd you say it was? Your cousin, your nephew?
Yeah.
All right, your nephew cousin. Probably went right in there. Shoot, we got actually a couple of things to do, but it just seems like you guys are all set on your way, if that works for you.
I prefer you come with us.
You want us to come with you? Oh, geez.
I prefer if you did it.
Oh, gosh, we're really getting two sides of the coin here, and to top it off,
we
one
could
of
use
them's a little bit rude.
We could use the extra help.
Well, I'll tell you what. All right. Well, let's just go check it out in there and see where things are at. I don't even know why I thought leaving was an option. We should probably see this thing through.
It's not very nice to use people as human shields.
That's exactly what we're doing.
Awesome.
I do find it funny that these guys are in charge of finding the kids who have been kidnapped.
But they don't want to
get to the location where they most likely are and go, oh, well, bye, guys. Have a nice day.
Well, you quickly learn the reason for this. One of them leans over and he says,
Gee willikers, Steve, I'm really getting the heebie-jeebies around here. I know I was hoping that we might get out of it, Henry, but it's looking like we're kind of stuck in it. And to be honest with you, this is the one place we really haven't looked yet. So,
it's the one place
we've been avoiding it like the plague this whole time, Steve, and I think it's about time we just buck up and get it done.
I really like that these guards are just the moose from Brother Bear. That's the best.
Yeah, that's right. And so, behind you guys.
No, I think it's, you guys are the experts here, right?
In what particular area?
I mean, you're, soldiers,
We're town guards. I mean, I think Steve's got a little bit of military history. Served in the 3rd Battalion.
But you're here to protect us, right?
Oh, sure.
Well, I think you guys should go first.
Okay.
All right.
I suppose I can't find any flaws in that logic.
Dez
that sounds
is already halfway up the clock.
I mean, we're going to have to go in after him. He's an eager
Yeah, we better
beaver
get going.
there.
We better get going.
Oh, all right. And they go hustling up. Wait for us, little buddy. What's your name there, little buddy? Okay.
And they go running inside. Dez, I don't know what are you guys following after him?
Oh, yeah, we're just going in behind them.
Oh, okay.
I just want them in front as the meat shield.
Sure. All right.
Imagine us going in after Dez. He goes ahead and we all go in Scooby-Doo style.
Yeah.
With your arms awkwardly up.
Rushing inside, you guys are instantly surprised to find that the interior of this space is far larger than a clock tower would suggest. The clock tower's build is fairly narrow. It looks like it's really just enough space would be inside to go up a ladder or maybe a winding staircase to get to the top, do whatever repairs you need along the way, and then descend out, and that's pretty much the end of it. As you guys step inside, you find yourselves, you do see the spire that leads upwards, but the sort of expanse of space within here definitely suggests that there's an unnatural amount of room inside the space. It's quite dark. The shadows are long and intense. But that's not the part that surprises you the most. The part that surprises you the most, looking around at sort of the scaffolding that makes up the sort of stairway or walkway that leads up the spire to the spire, is strings that sort of hang down, and at the end of each of these strings you see what look like children, all tied up and wrapped up in these strings, hanging there almost like it's a web or something along those lines.
Do they appear alive?
They do, yeah. As you kind of watch one of them as it sort of like sways ever so slightly back and forth, you can see that this child seems to be breathing. Although very shallow, they all seem to be unconscious and weak. Some of them are looking obviously very malnourished, as if they've been here for a little while.
And they're just hanging over a bottomless pit that is the clock tower?
No, so it's sort of, you got like the center spire that shoots all the way up that kind of holds everything, and then you've got a walkway that goes up, and there's sort of scaffolding that holds that walkway, and they're kind of just hanging off various sections of that scaffolding. So some of them are higher up than others, but some of them are only like maybe 10 feet off the ground, maybe not even that.
Well, Des would like to instead take out his sickle and start cutting down.
Okay. Yeah.
Cutting down the kids.
Yeah, you cut down one of the kids. Do you
call me Anakin?
It falls in Brace's neck.
I was gonna say, how are you handling?
Like, so are they tied and then suspended down? Okay,
so I'll
grab the rope at the top, cut them down, put them on the scaffolding or on the steps, and
so wherever it's safest to
okay.
You know, just want to clarify that you're not just like shooting.
Thud.
Good thing I brought the Youngling Slayer 3000.
Oh gosh. As you cut these children and you lay them down, they're still seemingly unconscious, but you get maybe a couple of them before you start to hear the sound of one of them in particular seems to be wrapped very heavily, and it seems to be wiggling in this very moment.
Keto would just like to take this moment to take a second look at Dez, who not 3 episodes before had just stiff-armed a kid to his, potential death. And now
no, I didn't stiff-arm him. I
newfound
threw
sense
him.
of compassion.
He tried to save his life.
Almost like he's trying to make up for past
No, see, from the very beginning, I truly care for children. I don't want to see them get hurt. That's why I chucked him out of the arena. Like,
it was either me or the Minotaur.
Quit crying, kid. I saved your life.
I can't cry.
You didn't save my life. You ruined my death.
But yeah, one of them seems to be struggling and swinging kind of back and forth a little bit from inside of its almost cocoon-like set of strings.
They're really small.
It's fairly small.
Is it silly?
Yeah.
Cameron, roll for silliness.
7? That's silly?
It's not
How
particularly.
frilly is it though?
There.
15.
There's
very frilly.
There's some very familiar frills sticking out from amidst the string.
That's pretty frilly. That might
It's not that silly, but it is pretty frilly.
not very silly. That might be him. We need to cut him down.
It's frilly.
It's very frilly.
Silly Frilly Willy, right? We're just freeing Willy. This is just
It's free Willy.
this is just
We
bootleg
need a
Free
free
Willy.
He wasn't rolling for Willy, though. He could be a frilly Millie.
There might be only one way to find out.
Can I? If I were to do like
Can't be him. He's not silly
firebolt
enough.
on it, would it just burn the outside? And then he just drop.
Yeah, that would be.
That's about the only way I can get you down. I gotta
Is
snap. I can poke at it.
Is it fireball or is it firebolt?
Firebolt.
Bolt.
Okay.
Yeah, just to make sure.
Just-
Yeah, you roll a firebolt attack.
There's a
basically.
very big difference between the two.
I had
10.
to ask
Yeah.
why we went from cutting down the other kids to seeing one that looks
He's not
silly
around
and just
you.
going,
He-
fireball!
No, he's way far ahead.
Oh, sure, okay.
I didn't say I necessarily wanted to. I just asked what would happen.
I'm busy cutting down
Oh,
other kids.
but then
So you would
are you
add
cool
your-
doing
you
it?
would add
Well,
your
I want to
attack.
see what everybody else's options have
Oh,
here.
okay.
You would add that +5.
Because the only other thing I
So
have,
it's like a 15.
the only thing, yeah. So the
Oh.
only thing I have is a staff, so I'd just be sitting there poking him like,
Sure.
I'm gonna get him down.
The pinata.
But you use the firebolt and you shoot the string
Potentially.
above. Yeah, no, I mean,
Okay,
you,
all right,
yeah,
all right.
and then it quickly sizzles and drops
Gotta catch him.
into
Gotta catch
your
him.
arms.
Let's see if I catch him. Roll to
Alright,
see if I
let's see.
catch him.
This is a whole romantic
14.
subplot.
Hey,
Hey,
I catch it.
look into his eyes.
I'm still tied up.
Oh yeah, you
It's a different shot.
You should have left him hanging there, and then Spider-Man kissed him.
Your own.
So I start digging at it.
That's your.
What do I see?
You see the face of Silly Frilly Willy.
Hey, I'm holding you right now, but
Am I awake?
Yeah, you're awake.
Oh.
I'm a little tied up here.
yeah, I'm just pulling out the string. Like,
Yeah.
You disappeared and we got a little worried.
Oh, well, I was pretending to be Willie.
The strings that you guys you're kind of ripping away, they're like a thin, like a thread, like a clear thread. It's not so much like a spider silk or anything like that. Like, just to clarify.
not necessarily sticky.
No, it's not sticky.
I do want to say I saw the little puppet thing.
What do you look like?
A puppet.
Oh, okay.
Rainbow coat on, and then he led me here, and then I shocked him.
Yeah. And what happened when you came inside?
He kicked me in here.
He kicked you?
Yeah. That was the last thing I remember.
All right.
Then we rolled credits.
You fought valiantly.
I guess
Credits?
so.
Is that some sort of dice?
I don't know. It's a term someone's used before.
Or you gambled with them?
Yeah.
Did you win?
No.
As you can see.
As you can see, I'm all out of credits.
I pulled the wool over your eyes, I see.
In my body.
All right, as
Is
Rorick
he
is
free now? Is he free now?
In my
yeah, I
mitts.
see. Yeah, you manage to pull him free, and just as you do, you hear something kind of out of the corner of your ear, and you turn to see just these little dolls. They just seem really just generic. They just have like regular, a little bit bigger than Barbie size. They're more like fully built. It's not like this tiny little pencil whatever creature. It's just like a small puppet. I'm thinking
A
kind of like.
marionette.
Kind of, yeah. Or almost like Lilo and Stitch, how she has that weird little doll
the
thing
doll.
that she makes.
Voodoo doll.
Yeah, the like weird, creepy. Yeah, it kind of looks like that, about that size. And it's like, it sounds like it's moving on a clockwork. And it sounds like it's moving on a clockwork, and it just kind of comes walking out from the shadows, and it starts to approach you.
Is that the
Yeah,
puppet?
And I turned to the DM to ask if that was the puppet.
It is
No,
not the puppet.
It is.
No, it is not the puppet. It looked that rainbow on. That, I don't know what the heck that is. Doesn't look friendly.
I was
Des
gonna
smashes one with the Morning Star.
All right, roll an attack.
Okay. The Morning Star plus 5, 17.
17, that definitely hits.
Cool. 9.
9 damage. So you swing the Morning Star, slam right into it. It goes flying backwards and slams into the wall and kind of falls onto the ground. And it looks totally disfigured at this point. You know, one arm is gone, one leg is like sliced or crushed in half. It's got kind of like pieces of it like hanging off of the little clockwork tendons that sort of allow it to operate. But with the other half of its body, it keeps kind of like clawing towards you. It still seems to be, quote unquote, alive
So just one of them?
currently.
It's a construct. I hate it. I want to smash it again.
Is he back with us?
Yeah.
And we're all in the same room.
Oh, he's
I'm
just
smashing
cutting
it.
down kids.
Oh,
Totally
jeez,
ignoring
you didn't even let the thing talk to you. Here, just give me a moment. It's just a little doll.
And one of the guards comes walking up to it, and he's like, What's wrong there, little fella? And it just grabs him by the collar and just pulls his face down and slams it into the ground. It deals 7 damage to this guard, who he raises up. He's got like a tooth falling out of his mouth. There's just blood all over from a broken nose. Oh jeez! Oh gosh, you turned me! Somebody help! And the other guard comes running over and he's like, "Oh, don't worry there, Harry. I'm gonna help you out." Oh, and he just trips over the guy and falls onto the ground. And he looks up, and now he's missing a tooth, and his nose is all bloodied up. Oh jeez, y'all, we gotta call for backup. Oh, this is real bad. I knew we shouldn't have come in here.
I'll just whack. I'll whack it
That
again.
one.
Who are these guys?
Go for it.
Again.
Go for it.
I'll do it
You
again.
come rushing over. It's still holding the one guy by the collar and like trying to slam his face into the
That's
the
a
ground.
17 again.
Nice. All right.
It's a good movie.
Zac Efron.
Matthew Perry.
Oh, that time it's only a 5.
That's okay. That's enough to just shatter it completely, crushing it into the ground. Oh, jeez, I can't believe it. We gotta go get ourselves some backup. Don't you guys worry, we'll come back here. And they both start stumbling over each other, and they run towards the door. And as they reach it, it's already closed behind you. And they reach it and they start shaking the door to try to open it, and it doesn't seem to be opening. Oh, jeez, this is right out of me nightmares. It's not opening, guys. And they're looking back at you guys as if they're looking for answers. I don't know.
Because it's a pull door.
They try to pull. No, it's still not working.
It's a lift door, like a garage door.
They both reach underneath and they're trying to lift it. It's still nothing. Oh, jeez.
Turn the handle.
Oh, jeez, it's got a bar. It doesn't have a handle.
This is a pretty advanced.
That seems like a fire code violation.
Yeah, it definitely might be.
Give me a booze while you're there. Get it?
This is no laughing matter.
Bar.
Silly frilly Billy.
I lean over to Feather and like,
Oh yeah, I'm still dressed up.
Yep.
good thing we brought the professionals.
As you guys make this joke, all of a sudden you can hear the sound of more of these clockwork dolls. And they start coming out from the shadows. You got probably 4 more of these things. And the one guard that got, slammed into the ground, I think it was to Henry. He goes, "Oh, jeez, there's more of them. What are we gonna do, Steve?"
Well, I suppose we better help these fellas.
I just started blasting.
Just start blasting.
And Maki pulls out his crossbow and, cocks back the firing mechanism. And aims at the ones approaching the guys and shoots a shot off.
All right, let's all roll initiative.
Oh, yeah.
19.
Nice.
21.
20.
11. No, 12. 12. I can't count today.
19.
21.
21.
What's
Great
9
movie.
plus 10?
Cameron.
9.
9. All right.
Great movie.
It's not a
I
bad
do
movie.
love that movie. That is a good one. Hey, Elijah Wood. Woo.
The story is lacking just a tad, but it's a pretty good movie overall.
It's solid.
Hopefully we got another one. What'd you get, Quinn?
You got like a 23. So Quinn, you are kicking us off.
How many are there that we're fighting?
4.
There's 4 of them now?
There's 4 of them. Yep.
Alright, I'm gonna use Thunder Wave.
Okay.
Thunder Wave!
All right.
Nice.
I think they make it. Do they make a check?
Yeah, so a wave of thunder. Each creature Constitution saving throw.
Yeah.
On a failed save, they take 2d8. If they succeed, they still take damage. It's just half. 2.
2.
Take 2 damage.
So they're either taking 1 or 2 damage.
Yeah, but they're really gonna learn their lesson.
Here's the part you're really gonna hate. All of them except 1 managed to save. So
We're getting
you
them
did your
started
best.
off.
Fantastic. Next up, we got Nick. Unless you want to move or any of that kind of stuff, so you get your action, your bonus action, and
I'm definitely sitting there looking at my hands like,
Okay,
I did
so
not
Keto
do what I was
is
expecting.
going to see these little munchkins crawling towards him. So
Yep.
the image that comes to mind is if you've ever played Super Mario World, the boss battle with Bowser is he spits out these little Bowser wind-up toys.
right.
That's what I'm envisioning
Sure.
climbing towards me.
Yeah.
So
That makes sense.
he's going to unsheath his glaive
Okay.
and sprint towards the nearest thing and make a slinging slasher attack.
Slinging
Nice.
Slash.
Slash,
I like it,
slasher attack.
Does a 20 hit?
That absolutely.
So with
It's
his
a dead center
glaive
stab
attack,
right
he
into
is
this
going to
doll.
do 11 damage.
11 damage. Well done. You slice this doll straight in half. I'm going to say you probably slice a second time. It's sort of like a crisscross pattern. You slice it once across this way, slicing it in half, and then you come back for a second slice across half the other way, instantly destroying the doll.
He's going to make a very impressive look behind him as if to say, "Did you see that?"
Are you looking at somebody specifically?
I don't know, just the crew
Or just
behind
the
him.
whole-
I don't know.
Oh, jeez, that was real impressive. Thank goodness he's here to save us.
I definitely clap for them.
Nice. Next up, the dolls. The dolls are gonna rush up to you guys. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay. Oh, that's unfortunate. So one of them rushes up to Rorick and leaps into the air. And
Rorick?
oh, sorry, silly frilly Willy leaps into the air and lunges towards you. That's a nat 20.
Oh no, my frills!
My frillies and my willies.
Not my willy!
Oh, he's gonna punch me right in the willy. It deals 10 damage.
Willy talks in third person.
It deals 10 damage to Frilly Willy, Silly Frilly Willy.
Willy!
The next one comes rushing towards Keto, lunges towards his foot, and just kind of like lifts its arms into the air and just goes to slam down on your foot. Does a 14 hit?
No, it does not.
It does not. It slams down on the ground. You quickly move your foot away just in time for it to miss. The next one, it's rushing towards Feather McGregor, aka Lil Sauce, and it goes to throw a punch. You nimbly dodge out of the way, and it slams its fist into a chunk of the scaffolding, and just kind of takes out a chunk of the wood just straight from it. And then the final one goes rushing towards the 2 guards that are cowering by the door. Oh, and definitely hits on that one, dealing another 4 damage to the guy who had his face slammed down. He crumples down. He is unconscious. The other guard, panicking, starts, he'd be helping his friend, but he's kind of just freaked out by the thing and starts just running around in circles. He's just running around the area, trying to avoid these dolls. He's terrified. We jump over to the next person in the order, and that is Dave.
These things are getting out of hand. And he lines up the beat of his crossbow or whatever to one of the ones chasing the guard.
Okay. I like that image too. Like it's chasing him around. He's not just running around the room. He's being chased.
Oh, Jesus! Oh.
Hands in the air, all that flailing.
21.
Holy cow, that's definitely hitting. Get a lock onto one of the dolls following its speed perfectly.
Hit it with an 8 damage.
8 damage. You fire. Its tiny body gets hit with this. Normally it would be just, it's a small crossbow bolt, but, obviously the size of the crossbow bolt in proportion to the size of this doll is a very different situation than if you were shooting some humanoid. Slams into it, takes the whole body, flying across the room, slamming its arm hits it in the shoulder and embeds itself into a chunk of scaffolding. It just kind of pulls and pulls until it just tears its own arm off, leaving it attached to the scaffolding and keeps moving towards you guys. It gets a bead on you and starts heading in your direction specifically. It's still alive, but barely. Next up, we got Jackson.
I'm just going to keep hitting things with a flail.
Fair enough.
Is there any close to me, or do I have to move?
There's there's the one that's attacking Keto, there's the one that's attacking Silly Frilly Willy, and then there's the one that's currently beelining its way towards Maki, an angry death glare in its
I'm gonna
eyes.
intercept the one running towards Maki and just swing my flail.
It's like polo.
Just down. Yeah, like I'm playing
minus
polo.
the horse.
Wham!
Nice. All right, go
just
for it.
Body the thing.
Sure.
Right. Does a 12.
That is just shy. Oh, darn. You come down,
Oh,
you swing down with it. It ever so slightly just kind of taps the stub that it had for an arm. If it still had its arm there, this definitely would have made contact, but its arm is now gone, giving it a strange level of added defense. Cameron, you are next up on the order. Silly Frilly Willy.
That's me.
That's you.
How many little fellows are there?
Well, there's one that's like practically on top of you. Right?
Yeah, I don't like that.
And then there's 2 other ones.
So you said this room's full of a bunch of scaffolding.
Yes.
Is there anywhere near me that's I can climb up?
Yeah, I mean, there's plenty.
I want to do that.
Okay.
I'm going to run away using a bonus action to disengage.
Okay, yep.
And then I'm going to run and start climbing up some scaffolding.
Okay.
So I'll get a higher vantage point.
Sure.
And then I'm going to aim my crossbow, my little short bow,
Yep.
short bow.
Okay.
And I'm going to fire a arrow at... So there's the one chasing that dude.
Yes.
How far away would that be?
Probably only like 15 feet.
How far away is it from him?
Oh, from him? It's maintaining a pretty solid 5 foot. He'd like run and then he kind of looks behind him like in every horror movie where the person is could probably just focus a little bit more on
That's
getting
all I
away.
need to hear.
Woohoo! Oh, I see. You're trying to get a 5.
It's a 10.
Oh, that is not. What are you shooting with? Crossbow?
A short bow.
Short bow? Yeah. You pull an arrow out, notch it, Fire down. And it misses.
I'm a little dizzy from all the climbing.
That's true. And you just got broken out.
Yeah, and I'm a little silly.
And you're silly.
Yeah, that's true. I go, oopsie.
Hey, at least you didn't hit the guard. So.
Yeah.
What
did I do last?
We go back to the top of the order with Quinn, aka Lil Sauce.
Am I able to use magic missile now too?
Yeah, you could use magic missile.
Okay.
So that's 3 bolts. You can aim them differently.
How many are left?
So there's 3 total.
What's the one closest to me? I'm gonna aim 2 at him and 1 at another.
Well, the one that's closest to you is the one probably that got that ripped its own arm off. So it's
let's
pretty
do
weak.
1 at him.
Okay.
And 2 at another.
All right, sounds good. So you roll me that damage.
4
damage.
4 damage. It instantly gets vaporized by your magical bolt.
Cool. 2,
2. Okay.
3.
And 3. Awesome. You managed to fire several bolts, all of which slam into... Did you say you were going to do 2 on this same one, or spread them all out?
1 on the first guy, and that was real weak. 2 on the second.
So you obliterate that first guy 100%, instantly just gets slammed by your magic, just shatters into pieces so small that it's practically vaporized. The second one you fire 2 of your bolts at, bam, bam, both slamming into it, dealing a total of 5 extra damage, leaving it glitchy in a sense. Like as it moves, it kind of like has this weird twitch to it. It seems like you may have dislodged some of the gears and stuff that makes it work. It's still coming obviously, but it definitely looks like it's been pretty severely injured. Jumping back over to Fatty, you are up, sir.
So he's going to take a brief glimpse at his surroundings. The little munchkin that's chasing the guard, is
That one's dead.
That one's dead?
That's the one he hit with his magic bolt.
So which munchkins are left, and I guess what is their positioning?
Yes, there's the one that was trying to get you in the foot, and then there's the one that attacked Rorick, aka Silly Frilly Willy.
Thank you.
I guess look down at his feet at the little munchkin.
One right in front of you.
Yep.
Kick right on. Just go.
And just kind of do like a you shall not pass type of action with his glaive and just
Slam the bottom of the glaive on it.
Yeah, he'll try
like
one of
it.
those things.
I like it.
Ooh.
You shall not pass.
That's why he is a fighter and not a wizard, because that was a nat one.
Oh no!
Definitely
Your own-
just stabbed it into your foot.
Your own foot.
So what happens is you go to slam down on this little bot. It stands directly underneath. You have a perfect shot, but it reaches up and catches it almost perfectly, grabbing onto your glaive, and then it pulls right out of your hands.
No.
And now it holds this glaive over its head.
Oh my word.
And immediately after your turn follows the dolls themselves.
No!
My
So the one doll is holding your glaive and slashes at you with it. It's not really proficient, so I don't think I can add its proficiency. So that's just a straight 10, which I know doesn't hit you. You nimbly dodge out of the way, still surprised by this doll having taken your weapon right out of your hands, but thankfully it's unable to hit you with it. The other one looks up and sees Silly Frilly Willy has climbed out of the way and looks for a new target and sees Maki off in the distance with nobody bothering him and says, I'm gonna go bother him, in its mind, in its clock.
Says you.
You
You've had it too
it
good.
rushes towards you and trips over a single bolt that had come out of one of its fellow dolls. It picks itself up off the ground and starts coming towards you, but it didn't really do too much, or it didn't get super close. And then, ironically, we jump over to you, Maki, who's seeing this doll slowly moving towards him.
Hey, stay back there, fella. Nope. And Maki tries to reach out with his mage hand to stop this creature. But it's like, it's a mage hand is pretty weak and it can't attack or grapple, so it's like ineffective. It's just kind of like batting it aside and coming at him. He's like, oh man, if only this hand had some sort of substance to it.
You see, as you cast your mage hand to it to block it, it sort of like looks like it's struggling, and it's like pushing, and you see it like digging its feet into the ground as it pushes this mage hand back towards you as it continues to make its way. It definitely slows it down, though.
Yeah, maybe if I just try harder. And he grips it with the mage hand, and then he's exerting his effort, and then you see the spectral image of the hand changes form slightly, and you see like a skeletal fingers start to grow out of the center of it as it turns into a chill touch.
Oh, very cool. So what do I do for that?
A ghostly skeletal hand is now wrapped around this creature.
That's right.
And I make a ranged spell attack.
Okay.
It's going to be an added 20 to
Holy
hit.
cow! Yeah, that's gonna hit.
Then it's a nice old 2.
2 whole damage. Hey, that's.
Is this creature undead by chance?
I'm gonna say that it's being powered on undead energy.
Oh.
Or necrotic
Chill
energy.
touch on a hit. The target takes necrotic damage. And it can't regain hit points until the start of my next turn.
Okay.
And the hand clings to the target in the meantime.
Okay.
If it's an undead target, it has disadvantage on attack rolls against me.
Oh, okay. Awesome. Yeah, I'm going to say it's definitely being powered by undead magic, and I would count that as applicable. So what happens is this finger, this comes out, and it kind of just curls around this doll, and you just see the doll kind of like become very rigid, and it just kind of starts to shake a little bit as the magic suctions some of the undead life force straight out of it, and it seems to start to glitch a little bit, kind of like I was talking about before. Fantastic. Awesome. That's very cool. Jumping forward, we got Jackson.
Now, before I do my turn, I think we've talked about this before, but I kind of want another general consensus because I don't remember what we decided on. Does Hail of Thorns also apply to thrown weapons? Because the description says, the next time you hit a creature with a ranged weapon attack, or it creates a rain of thorns that sprouts from your ranged weapon or ammunition.
Okay.
So if I were to throw
Sure.
the Morning Star,
Okay.
that suddenly becomes a ranged weapon.
Okay. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, I would say so. I mean, all things considered, like the mechanics of D&D, they tend to be missing things that like, oh, this is completely situational. So I would say this is one of those situations where like, yeah, Morning Stars don't typically say thrown. Because most people wouldn't do that, but in this case, somebody is doing that, and I don't see a reason why it shouldn't be. If you're somebody that's like a rules lawyer that's like throwing a huge fit about it, it seems kind of unfair because like again, I can throw it.
The spell description is pretty vague.
Right. I would say if anything, consider it something that you're not proficient in.
Okay.
For the actual like thrown weapon.
So no
whatever.
bonuses, just straight roll.
Right.
Okay. I could do that.
Okay.
How good are your dexterity saving throws?
For everybody?
No, for Nick specifically.
Oh, just
specifically. Because
just for Fatty?
that construct is still alive, right? Average?
What is +3?
Oh,
That's pretty good.
decent. Yeah, honestly, pretty decent.
So that one is still alive, correct?
Yes.
I'm gonna throw my Morning Star, and I'm going to do Hail of Thorns.
All right.
Which to hit with the Morning Star is a 15.
That's gonna hit.
5
damage. Nice.
And then it's a dexterity saving throw.
And then, Fatty, you're gonna have to also make this.
Yeah. Just
I
in
got
case.
a 21.
That,
on the
you know
doll.
what? He'll take half damage then.
No, that's fine. As you see this Morning Star kind of spin towards you, being hurled from your friend Dez, and as it slams into the doll above you, just kind of out of mysterious nothingness,
It's like
these
the
hail of
spikes.
thorns, just come shooting down from the. Like I said, it's really just there's nothing even there. It's not even like a portal. They just kind of come out of thin air.
Does an 11 save me from impending punctures?
Jackson does an 11 save.
It does not.
All right. So doll will take half damage, whereas
So an extra 2 damage.
all right,
And he'll just take
fantastic.
4 damage. Sorry.
These small thorns come flying out of the air. A couple of them embedding into the doll. It just kind of gets slammed as if it's getting like punched or something. These thorns kind of embed into its little fabric clothing. But it keeps on coming. It
But
keeps
now
on
the
coming.
doll has 2 weapons.
That's true. It turns to see the morning star and goes to pick it up. I have to wait till its turn, obviously.
Hear Dark Souls music.
Yeah. Whatever the case, we jump over to Silly Frilly Willy up on the scaffolding. It's your turn.
Silly Frilly Willy sees that the doll down there has become too powerful, grabbing 2 weapons. He aims his short bow at it and aims between the eyes. Take out this boss.
At the same time, Keto is going to grant tactical teamwork, which is when a creature within 30 feet of you makes an attack roll on a creature within 5 feet of you. You can use your reaction to grant advantage on that roll.
Okay.
23.
Oh,
I
right.
didn't need it.
All right, sounds good.
Thanks for that one.
You ready an arrow, and this time you're a lot more confident because this target isn't moving. It's kind of just standing there, slowly reaching for a morning star that lays like a couple of feet away from it. And you take your aim and you fire this arrow. Roll me some damage.
Is anyone close to it?
Well, Nick or Fatty is.
Yeah, we're more of acquaintances.
How did I do that? I rolled 3 ones with my sneak attack.
Any addition?
8 damage.
8 damage. Okay. So as you fire this arrow, the arrow goes flying through the air, slams right in dead center into the chest of this doll, and nails it into the ground. As it does, the glaive slips through its fingers, falls down, and promptly slices the doll in half. Keto,
That's still my kill!
Keto, your glaive now lays on the ground in front of you. You can pick it up on your turn. Sorry.
Are there still dolls alive?
There's still 1 doll left alive.
Kill it.
And it is now Quinn's turn.
So I got my staff here. I'm gonna run up to it and hit with 2 hands.
2 hands. Wow. All right. Well, you don't have anything in your other hand, so you are allowed to do that.
Okay.
All right. You come running up to it, and Happy Gilmore golf style. What did you roll? A 4. Oof. And you take a swing, and much like Happy Gilmore in the earlier part of the movies, you miss. Did you do that? I'm pretty sure that's what
I don't
happens,
think
right?
he misses.
He misses?
He just sucks at putting.
Oh, he just sucks at putting. More similar to myself, whenever I go golfing, you whiff it. Completely missing the ball, or in this case, the doll altogether. That's okay, because you turn to look for assistance on this final, hopefully, kill, and you can see Fatty, aka Keto, reaching for his glaive on the ground.
Keto is going to grab it, turn, and charge. Since Sauce is over there, he does have advantage on this roll due to his pack tactics.
Right, okay.
So he's not going to get a nat 1.
How did you do that?
Did you roll a nat 1?
A nat 1 and a nat 20.
It's a good thing it's a positive.
We'll take the better of the 2.
So, as you're running towards, you trip ever so slightly on one of the dead dolls, but in the process, it angles your glaive just perfectly so that you come down to spear this last remaining doll just dead center into its body. Roll that damage.
17.
Your blade from your glaive goes straight into the chest, and the sort of the mass of the blade just splits the whole thing in half. It sort of just like kind of folds outward as your glaive splits through, and in 2 halves this doll lays there completely motionless. All the dolls have been killed, but you don't have time to celebrate because you hear a voice come from above you.
Well, it looks as if you've taken out my little henchman. How frustrating. Took me quite some time and quite a bit of my energy to bring them to life. But that's okay. I think they did a bang-up job weakening you for me to come in and finish the job.
And as you look above you, you can see almost like a spider coming down a web, this strange, colorful puppet creature. Rorick, obviously you recognize it as the one that sort of coaxed you in here. And it slowly descends just about maybe 30 feet above most of you, except for, of course, you, Rorick, who's on the scaffolding or on the walkway. He's maybe like just kind of 10 feet, maybe 5-10 feet away.
Is he like monologuing as he's like coming down?
A little bit.
Can I just shoot the rope above him?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, while he's mid-monologue, I'm just going to aim and
He's got me monologue.
21.
21. You pull out your arrow and he goes, hey, wait a minute. Flies forth, hits the string, slicing it, which, to be fair, I'm pretty sure Mythbusters prove it. This isn't really a thing that happens, but I digress. It's more fun.
It could hit it.
It hits it, and it slices the string, causing the puppet to fall to the ground. Just as he's about to hit the ground, he disappears and reappears on the scaffolding not too far from you.
Like right next to me?
Close, not quite next to you. And he says,
That was a clever trick, much like when you shocked my hand earlier. But you won't get that lucky this time.
Rorick sticks his hands up and starts making like tickle fingers and goes, let me at him. And he's gonna start charging at him to go shock him again.
and as you charge at him to shock him again, we will end tonight's episode on a cliffhanger. Thank you so much for listening to Criminals of Isla Numus, a Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition actual play podcast set in a homebrew world created by me, Skylar Gorsuch. If you've been enjoying our show so far, be sure to like, follow, and subscribe wherever it is that you're streaming from, whether that be Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, or anywhere else that podcasts can be streamed. Or just check us out on our website, sessionzeroheroes.com. Additionally, if you enjoy Coin, you might enjoy some of Session Zero Heroes' other shows, such as our Benders and Brews and Avatar Legends Actual Play, where we jump into the world of Avatar The Last Airbender and Legend of Korra using the Avatar Legends system created by Magpie Games. Or one of our various one-shots, which we are currently coming out with, where we use a variety of games and TTRPG systems to tell a variety of fun, exciting, emotional, and hilarious stories within our group. We have all sorts of other content that we highly recommend checking out within the SZH channel, and more to come in the future. To find out more about what we do at Session Zero Heroes, and to keep up with a lot of the other content we produce and be made aware of future projects, shows, and content, be sure to follow us on social media on Facebook, X, Instagram, and Discord. These are all great ways to get in contact with our team, as well as to keep up to date with everything that we're creating and working on. We'd love to see you there. In the meantime, thank you so much for listening, and don't forget to stay curious, stay heroic, until we roll again.